Sheldon and Harrison Watt for FSUTorch.com. We're at David Glavin Ice Arena, here to preview Ferris State's last regular season CCHA series, scheduled for March 1st and 2nd at the University of Michigan.
What do you think of today's practice? I mean, getting ready for this huge series against Michigan. So, could you walk me through what you thought of today's performance?
It was a pretty standard practice. It was a good tempo, and granted we had a week off, but just pretty standard practice.
Did that week off really help get you ready for this upcoming series when you had some injuries and also some illnesses to work through?
I think it's a good thing considering we did have a lot of injuries. We still have a lot of guys still nursing some injuries, and granted it's really late in the season as well. I think a week off helps you physically, mentally maybe not so much because you kind of get out of that rhythm, but hopefully we use it for as a positive.
How imperative is this upcoming series against Michigan for you in the CCHA standings, as this is the last series in the CCHA?
Well, it means a lot. We want to get home ice, obviously, and if we win both games, I'm pretty sure I think we lock it up. And it's we like playing at home. I think our style of play is really geared towards our home rink, and I think we definitely feel more comfortable at home. And when you play Michigan, they're a really good team. You always want to bring your effort. A lot of these people, they've grown up Michigan kids. They want to play for that team. And when you play them, it's just different. It's a different type of game.
With this series being your last in the CCHA regular season, tell me what you are most proud of achieving at Ferris State.
I would say probably last year winning the CCHA regular season title. I think that was just such a team accomplishment that we were able to do, and especially because this program's come such a long way in developing and becoming a perennial contender. So I think those are a lot of things, but definitely last year with winning the CCHA, that was a really great experience and one I'll remember.
Last year you were also ranked first in the nation for the first time in the program's history. Can you just tell me more about how last year's performance kind of carried over for you and then to amp up the team?
Well, I think personally it gave everyone that was there last year confidence that we were a force to be reckoned with and a team to beat in not only the CCHA but all of college hockey. And I think when you get that sort of confidence, it kind of lingers. And that's a good thing. So I think if you get in situations where it's tough, you dominate a game, whatever, you can draw on past experiences and know that you have the ability to win games. So I think that's kind of what I've tried to use and just try to lead by example, knowing what this team's capable of.
In the past, you've talked to me about how that confidence also pours over into your special teams. Tell me what you like about your special teams against Michigan this season, who doesn't necessarily have the best penalty kill in the CCHA.
I think we've had a very good power play for a lot of the year. I think the one thing that is kind of an unknown about Michigan is their power play now, because when we played them the first time, John Merrill was hurt, and he's obviously a big part of their power play. So they've made some adjustments. They've moved Turbo over so he can hit the one-timer, and he's got a big-time shot. So I think those are some things we have to work on the PK. But if we, with our power play, we stick to our system and how we want to run things, and hopefully we can be successful.
Who do you expect on your defensive line to really help curb Michigan's offensive ability? Well, high-scoring team.
Well, it's going to be great to have Czarnowczan back. It looks like he's going to come back into the lineup. So we've. I would say that the other guys that played in the past have played very well, but it's definitely going to be nice to have him back there. He's so poised and steady, and he keeps everyone, kind of in sync back there in the PK. So it's going to be nice to have him back in the mix. I think he'll be a huge addition for us.
Do you know anything about Travis's current condition?
He's skated the last 2 days, and as far as I know, he's been feeling good. So we'll just go from there.
Okay. Scott, could you just tell me? You're returning to the Bulldogs lineup this weekend against Michigan in the last CCHA series you'll play in a regular season. You've been injured for most of this season, and how important is this series to you now that you're coming back?
It's very important. On the line, we have our own destiny in our hand for home ice advantage. Me getting back into it is just to help me for playoffs. I'm going to put my best effort in and hopefully help the team get out for the win. We need both wins this weekend, and so we get home ice advantage for the playoffs.
Where do you want to be playing the most when you're on special teams?
From special teams, I have PK, just getting the puck out, blocking shots. Power play, I do what I can do, break the puck out, get pucks in the net.
With the disbandment of the CCHA looming, can you just tell me what you see the future of this program doing in the WCHA?
I feel like we could definitely be a powerhouse in that league like we are in this league. There's not much to tell, though. We haven't played much of this team in WCHA. I mean, it's going to be on Olympic sheet most of the games, which we haven't played much, but I mean, sure, we can get used to it. It's not that hard to adapt to it. I mean, I feel like we should be a powerhouse. I mean, we don't know, though. It's any team we haven't played.
How excited are you to be a senior blue liner next year?
Very excited to get back. Hopefully stay healthy next season. Definitely want to have a good run my senior year again. Just like hopefully get a good run this year like last year. So.
You with CJ Motte, Bulldog's starting goaltender. CJ, can you talk about your ability to play the puck and how it helps both the offense and the defense?
Yeah, I think really the faster we get it in our hands, the better. So everything they dump, try to get out there and stop it. That way we can get in our defensive hands. That way we can get forward as quick as possible. And then also if they dump it down on me, I think it's kind of in the back of their team's mind that maybe I can shoot it up for a stretch guy if they're out changing.
You played the most minutes in the CCHA. I think you're third in the country right now in minutes. Can you talk about how you've been able to work weekend in, weekend out without having any injury problems or anything, and just being really consistently in the net for these guys?
I think I started this summer. I was here summer working out with the guys who stayed here, and Dave Sensor, our strength and conditioning coach. I think he really got me in shape, ready to play the minutes he thought that I might be able to play this season. And then just getting my rest, getting the right kind of stat fluids in me to make sure that I'm still ready to go at tip-top shape every night.
Talk about Michigan, pretty good offensive team here coming up. Do you watch film for this, or do you just prepare on the ice mostly for a team like Michigan and their offensive punch?
Oh yeah, we do a little video on them against their last weekend opponent. But then again, it's got to worry about us more than them. Just got to get on the ice and practice what we do best and get hard work in, and that way we can do what we need to do on the ice.
Important week of practice coming up. What's the big focus this week going into a big series against Michigan?
Basically, I think we just got to get playoff ready. I think that this practice, this week's got to be a lot of high intensity stuff, and basically focus on getting our lines moving and getting ready for the upcoming series after that. I mean, you don't want to look ahead too much, but obviously this series also has a lot at stake. Home advantage, home ice advantage for playoffs. So I think if we bring the playoff mentality into this series, whoever we're playing, it doesn't really matter. I mean, just focus on that as much as we can so that we'll be ready for the following one as well, and just play good hockey.
How important is the continuity this season been on the top lines? For the most part, you've had the same top lines apart from Motte being injured, but how important is that? Can you talk about that for me?
I think that's huge. Obviously, you want to have guys that mesh well together, and when you have a line that's doing so and putting up points and helping your team, I think that's big. Obviously, Motte and Bonis are great players, and definitely shows on the score sheet and in practice and everywhere. That's definitely a big thing to have with the team.
Here with Coach Daniels, head coach of the Ferris State hockey team. First of all, can you talk about CJ's ability to play the puck and how it, I don't think it's been talked about enough, because especially in the Western game, you saw a lot of instances where he played it really successfully.
Well, that's a great point you bring up, and you know what? We haven't explored all the avenues we can use that ability of his. He can really play the puck well, and so can Charles Williams. And I see it every day in practice. And just as of late, we've been trying to explore different ways to incorporate their ability to move the puck into our game plan. And, if you look at our rink here, the one oddity we have is the way the boards, our corners are, it funnels a lot of pucks behind the net. So if we can find a way to incorporate our goaltenders into helping us break the puck out, I think it's going to bode well for the future. So we're trying, and I think we can open it up a little bit more as time goes on.
Obviously, big elephant in the room here is home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs, and Ohio State's already done their part by losing 2 games, and a sweep guarantees home ice. How imperative is it to get it, especially for your guys being as beat up as they have been this season?
Wow, it's real imperative. But you know what I like is the fact that we set our goals like steps, and our first goal was to finish and get a bye in the first, so a mission accomplished there. Our second goal, get home ice. So that's right out in front of us. third goal go to the Joe, fourth goal win a championship. So we've got the goals set out ahead of us. We have the ability to continue to attain all these goals. And while we feel comfortable, if we were to go on the road, I think we could win on the road in the playoffs. It would be much easier to do it in front of our home fans and our students than it would be if we have to go on the road.
Most of the team has given me, the whole, well, we're not looking forward to it, so I'll, go one at a time here. What's your focus for Friday night's game especially?
Well, this Friday night, obviously winning because it's the focus, but how do you get to that? I think one of the keys defensively for us is going to be making sure we have a third man back. Michigan is so good at scoring on line rushes that we always want to make sure we have a third player back, that we're not giving them odd man rushes at our net. The second thing is there's going to be turnovers, but we want to make sure we know where that puck's going to be when we turn it over. If for instance, if we can't penetrate into the zone, we're going to have to be willing to dump the puck in, because if we turn it over in bad areas, for instance, in golf, if you miss a hole or you miss the green, a lot of your golfers out there will know, then you want to miss it on the right side where you've got some room to still work with. Well, the same thing here is if we turn the puck over when we do it, we want to do it in such a way as we can get back defensively.
How important would a gritty game against Michigan be when it's going to be a war?
I think we're well prepared for it. It's going to be a very difficult series, and it's going to be a battle, but my God, I look back, the series against Western was really a battle. At Notre Dame, Bowling Green, every series in the second half, and more than I ever remember in the past, it seems to me like we've been in almost playoff mode since we played Michigan State to start the second half of the year. And the reason I say it is, in our league, playoff positioning counts for so much. Fifth place gets you a bye, fourth place gets you a home ice. So there's a lot riding on each position in the standings. And I felt like this year, as much as last year going for the regular season title, I felt like this year we've been on our game or having to be really on our game each and every weekend.